Okay, let's talk about the prep for lesson 2. First of all, when you click on the link below for the teacher edition, it will bookmark you straight to the materials prep in the teacher edition. This is my copy. You can find your copy in your Google Drive if you've downloaded the unit. But I've added a few things in here to the prep, so it'll make it a little bit easier. Okay, remember you've got a list of things you'll need for this lesson. It's divided what you'll need per student, per group, and per class. So that's helpful. It's kind of a checklist of things you need to get out. And then here are some directions on what to do to get ready. You're going to need to make copies, of course, of anything that you either created or you want to put in student notebooks. Like, for example, if you want to create a data table, you can print it out and make copies of that, maybe some procedures. There are procedures in the teacher edition that you're supposed to pull out of students through discussion, but I will tell you that is a heavy lift. So I would say give them a shot at it. Let them try and say what they think you should do for an investigation. And then personally, I would copy those procedures and put them in a handout with the data table so they can follow them. Just depends on where your students are. If they are very well equipped to handle a discussion and science at this level, or if this is very new to them. But please give them a sense of planning the investigation before you hand them the procedures to follow. Okay. You'll also notice that the lab requires 56 total bath bombs from ResCPB. That is a lot. So if you didn't make enough or you didn't purchase enough, you can reduce the number of bath bombs you put in the plastic bottle. And so that will save some money there or some time there. But you do want multiple bath bombs so you get significant amount of gas that's lost, and you'll see that registers on your scale. So you're going to need to make a lot of posters for this unit. Ideally, you make them as students share ideas, and so that's part of the sense making. As students share, then you write their ideas down. But I will say that consensus models, please do that. But in this case, the time it takes to do that, and then also it's hard to draw and write fast in a class. I would say prep these posters almost all the way, except for this portion right here, this portion right here, and this portion right here. That you will do with students. But instead of giving this to them and saying, what did you observe, and having the observations already up in front of them, have a discussion first about what they observed. What evidence did you collect? Get some ideas from students. Then pull your poster up or put your chart or poster under a doc cam and say, all right, let's see if any of these matched what you just shared. Raise your hand if you had a Ziploc bag and you crushed the bath bombs and it did not inflate. Who saw that and recorded that evidence? And then they raise their hand. So you're bringing them into what you've already prepped. And then you're going to go through and then ask them to agree or disagree that this is evidence for this claim. So we're going to, obviously, this is your answer key. So then you'll fill that out with the students. Do the same thing here. Talk about the observations before you pull up this chart and you have observations already there. Otherwise, you're giving it all away. And so the mass of the open system decreased. The mass of the closed system stayed the same. Let them tell you that before you pull this chart up. And then you're just going to do this and talking about, does this evidence support or refute the claim? So we're starting to build their ability to do a claim evidence reasoning. And this poster, this is before. So actually, I should probably move this one to right there. So this is before. It's like a prediction. If we see this, then this will happen. Or this is what it is going to support. And if we see this, this is what it's going to support. So this is done before the investigation. This is done after the investigation. Okay. Now, this is building us all to be able to do a claim evidence reasoning. I would say make a cool poster with this that just hangs in your wall all year, or pull it out when you do claim evidence reasoning. But the idea is we're going to use key model ideas to connect our evidence to our claim. So that we're teaching them that this is our reasoning that we've listed on the poster. And reasoning is hard for students, and so it's hard for adults. So this is an easy way to scaffold what is the reasoning. It's these key model ideas that connect our evidence to our claim. Now, as you do your key model ideas chart, all you need is a piece of chart paper and the title key model ideas. This one I could say you could develop with students, but have this cheat sheet out so you know what to write down. And so in the beginning of the lesson, you're going to put these 3 ideas as you review ideas about matter and solids and liquids and gases. Again, you might need to do a little intervention here, a little remediation, and go back and kind of build these science ideas. Some people use online simulations, or they do like a particle modeling chart. I've actually known some people to do this before the start of the unit. And then you have key model ideas. You're going to add a little bit about closed systems and open systems, but leave room right here because you're going to end up needing to add this part of the sentence after the investigation, this highlighted portion. Okay, now if we look at the directions for the investigations, the crushing bath bombs, you're going to need 8 mini bath bombs from recipe B. And so you're going to put a bath bomb students are going to put a bath bomb in a Ziploc bag and they're going to crush it up. You need something to crush it up with, a heavy book, something that's not going to break the bag open. So books are great, or a heavy flat object, but be careful not to puncture the bag. If you have a heavy duty Ziploc, it works better than those cheap ones. All right. And the second investigation, it says day 1, but I doubt you're going to do them both in the same day. There's an example video for your reference if you want to click on that and watch what happens. But each group is going to get 8 mini bath bombs from recipe B. If you do not have as many, reduce that number. The more you have, the more you're going to see the mass leaving the bottle. So there's that. But just let's see how many you have either purchased or made. And then you need a plastic bottle to put them in. I will tell you, soda pop bottles work way better than water bottles because a soda pop bottle has more of a screw top and it's used to having carbonated pressure in there. A water bottle will leak. So you might even ask students to bring those in. And I think that's about it. You might need something to pass the bath bombs out in, like a plastic bag or a little cup of some kind, but that's about it. So think about what is going to be your biggest prep for this lesson and post it in the discussion in the top right corner of your screen. Maybe you need to make a handout with some procedures and a data table. What are you going to do for your posters? What are your ideas right now? How are you going to prep for this lesson? And good luck with lesson 2.